bienvenue, willkommen, welcome, da 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 da. Well, hi there, and welcome to a Sit With Me podcast. My name is Solène, and I am your host. And today, I'm again coming to you energized. I worked out this morning at 6:30. I was out there for my high interval something training. So yeah, I am happy to be here, happy to record this episode. There's construction outside of my building. If you can hear it, my apologies. I live in Berlin, and Berlin is in constant construction. The only city that I saw that way was Montreal as well. Cities that are there's always something going on. The roads, the roof, the apartments, something's going on. So if you can hear the constructions, my apologies. I'm going to do everything in my power in post-production to reduce the outside noise, but sorry in advance. Anyway, that was my little disclaimer. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fantastic. And this episode came to me last weekend, because it is something that I've been struggling with for a while, and I almost fell victim to it, to what I'm going to talk about this weekend. So I said to myself, I'm going to sit down and work on this episode, work on the message that I'm trying to give you, because today, I guess the start of the episode will be, what if I tell you that the biggest thing standing between you and your dream is you? Because it is something that I had to recognize literally last weekend. What if I were to tell you that the biggest thing, I'm not saying the only thing, but the biggest thing that is standing between you and your success is you? How do you feel when I'm telling you that? Do you feel like I am blaming you? Do you feel like I'm exaggerating? Do you feel like it's true, partially true, not true at all? Again, I'm not saying the only thing, I'm saying the biggest thing. We, most of the time, are the biggest obstacle in our way, in our path, on our way to success, whatever success means for us, right? Because the truth of the matter is, no matter what you're trying to do, no matter what it is that you're trying to become, to achieve, the world will tell you no. That is unfortunate, but some people will say no, or be in your way, or trying to sabotage, or trying to dim your light, or trying to steal your energy, tries to steal your light, right? And that's what I mean when I say the world will tell you no. And this episode, I am telling you that you should not be the one telling yourself no, because the world will do that for you. You need to be your biggest fan, your biggest supporter. On your way, you need to be your biggest fan, your biggest cheerleader. I will be the second one, okay? But you need to be the first one. I will cheer on you. I will be there for you. I will support you. I will push you and encourage you to do whatever it is that you want to do, to become whoever it is that you want to become. However, the first place of the biggest fan, your biggest cheerleader, must be you at all time, at all cost, forever and ever, right? And so today I really wanted to talk about that, to talk about the fact that you need to get out of your own way, because you are the one depriving yourself of success. You are the one holding yourself back. Now, I understand that there are systemic issues. I understand that. I'm definitely not, how can I say that? In the role is the role that it is playing in our lives. However, we still need to acknowledge our own part of responsibility. So this is what we're gonna talk about, right? The fact that we often sabotage ourselves before the world even gets a chance to. We are sabotaging ourselves before the world even gets a chance to do that. So today I wanted to break down how to stop that. How to stop the cycle of self-sabotage and really start becoming your biggest supporter, because it's great to see it. It makes for a good quote. However, I wanted to give you actionable tools and really show you how to break the cycle of self-sabotage and becoming your biggest fan, your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader, right? Because it is something that I had to deal with. Actually, this very podcast, you know how long I've had this podcast in my little head? how long I had this little idea of sitting down and having a podcast and talk about life and empowering people and helping people and talk about the human experience? Years. But because of fear and self-doubt, and I thought that nobody cared, I thought that it would be stupid, I thought, I sabotaged myself. No one told me that it was a stupid idea. As a matter of fact, most of the time when I talk about my podcast, people are really welcoming, right? But I was the one telling myself, oh, it's going to be stupid, it's not going to work, no one will listen to it, no one will care, blah, 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 blah. So even before the world tells me anything about the podcast, and actually it's pretty positive now that it is out there, before the world even said anything to me, I was the one discrediting my idea, right? So that's why this episode is very important for me. So first I wanted to talk about why do we get into our own way? What are the psychological barriers, the key barriers that we have in our little beautiful mind that causes us to self-sabotage? The number one is fear of failure and fear of rejection. You are afraid of failure, aren't you? You are afraid that if you start to post on social media, if you start your coaching session, if you start your workouts, your workshops, sorry, I'm still in my workout mind. If you start your workshop, if you start that business, if you start that class to teach people how to do pottery, I don't know, you will fail. You are afraid of the failure even before anything happened, even before you launch everything, right? Anything. And very often we reject ourselves before we give others a chance to reject us. Think about a time where you were outside in a bar, maybe at a friend's house, or even in a store outside, and you wanted to ask someone for something, or maybe you wanted to shoot your shot, right? Or you wanted to give a compliment or ask for direction, or you wanted to just say something or ask something to a stranger. And even before you do that, immediately you rejected yourself. You said to yourself, oh no, that's stupid. Oh no, I'm not going to bother them. Oh no, they're going to say no. You wanted to ask for something and you thought before you even voice it that they would say no. That is you rejecting yourself before even giving the chance to anyone to do it. As a matter of fact, most of the time people will not reject you. People will not say no. Most of the time we say yes, right? But very often, we're the first ones saying no. And that is what is getting in the way of you succeeding. And I remember, I'm going to link the speech of Lupita Nyong'o, which I love. She made a beautiful speech, a beautiful keynote. And that was the essence of her speech. The fact that the world will tell you no, don't be the one telling yourself no. In order to do that, you need to reframe failure. You need to see every no that you might potentially receive. Every no is a data. Every no is another information. Nothing else. It's not an indictment of who you are, of what you can do, of what you can say, of what you want. No. It is simply a piece of data, right? And every single mistake is growth. Every single time, you never fail, you always learn. It is something that I really remind myself all the time, because you will fail more times than you will succeed. Whatever success means for you, just know that on your way, there will be way more failures, way more failed quote unquote businesses. But these are actually lessons. I should say lessons. There are way more lessons than successes. It's part of it, right? So you need to see every single mistake as growth and reframe it. So every single time in your mind, you're like, oh my God, I launched that and it didn't work, or I posted that and I had no views, no engagement. It is not a failure. It's a lesson. Pivot. Try again and again and again. And this is how you reach success, right? So the first one is fear of failure. This is the first psychological barrier, fear of failure and rejection. The second one, which I'm very familiar with, my girl, fear of success. I think for me, it's more fear of success than fear of rejection and failure, because the Caribbean in me, I think no Caribbean person is afraid of failure or rejection. We are what is the name of that? People doing exposure therapy, when people do things in public in order to become okay with it. I feel like that's very Caribbean. We don't care. We say when we like it. We say when we don't like it. People will say it to your face. So you have no fear of being rejected. But however, fear of success is different. It's because you are actually afraid of stepping in your full power. You are actually afraid of the consequences, quote unquote, of the result of you stepping in your full power. What will happen if you actually end up being a fully booked life coach? That is what you are afraid some of the time. You are not necessarily afraid of failing. You're afraid of succeeding at it because you don't know what that version of you look like. You don't know how will you handle all that money, all that success, all that network. You will need to scale your business. You might need to hire people. You will become this new higher version of yourself, but you are afraid of that, so you rather stay in the wanting stage and the dreaming stage. You rather dream of being a very successful coach, very successful author, very successful influencer, content creator, instead of actually becoming that, because you are afraid of that new life. And this is another psychological barrier. This is something that is preventing you from actually putting one foot in front of the other and moving forward. Ask yourself, on your way, were there opportunities that you sabotaged because you felt unworthy? For example, you are a fashion designer. I don't know. You are a fashion designer, right? And you meet someone, they have a fashion company or a fashion magazine, and they're telling you, okay, you know what? I see the potential. I see what you have. I love your art. I see the hunger. I see that you want it. Come to my office next Tuesday and we can talk about even maybe partnership or maybe an employment, a job or mentorship, something, right? At that moment, if you are afraid of success, that week, you will do everything in your power to sabotage yourself, consciously or unconsciously. You will mysteriously become sick on Monday, the day before, even though you spend the last weeks or even month not being sick, being in perfect health. However, that Monday you will wake up sick and be like, oh, sorry, I have to postpone. This is probably a psychological barrier that you have. Maybe you really caught the flu, but it might also be a psychological barrier because you're afraid of success, and you feel unworthy of that opportunity that is landing in your feet. Think of all the meetings or the opportunity that you passed, or someone, for example, right? Martha, that was on the podcast. I don't know if I talked about it here, but I definitely talked about it on my TikTok and Instagram. In January, 2 months ago, it was February actually, sorry. I moderated her book reading. She had a book reading, she published a book, and I moderated her book reading, and she contacted me in January. Now, my goal this year is to do way more public speaking, and this was actually my dream come true, my goal come true, right? But I could have said no to that. When she called me, when she sent me a message on WhatsApp, she was like, please, I thought about you. I'm coming to Berlin to do a book reading. I thought about you. Maybe would you be okay moderating my book reading? Now, I could have felt scared and say no because I was like, oh, I'm not ready. I don't think that I can do it. But because it was a goal of mine and because it was scary and because I have never done this before, I said, actually, you know what? It is the opportunity for me to make my dream come true. And I said yes right away, before even the end of the voice note, right? But if I had that overwhelming fear of success, I could have been like, actually, I'm gonna decline. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not ready. Maybe later this year, right? So check yourself when you have an opportunity to actually make one of your dreams come true or to be closer to your dream. What is your reaction? Are you self-sabotaging yourself and refusing to take that opportunity on? Or are you actually, you know what? I feel scared and I'm going to act anyway. In order for you to kind of heal that fear of success, right? To get over it, my tool is to visualize yourself being successful. Visualize success fully and entirely. If your dream is to be an author, to publish a book, right? Visualize yourself flipping through the pages of your book. If that can help, take a book that you actually have and flip through the pages and say to yourself, this is my book. How does it feel to enter a beautiful bookstore and see your books and see your book on the entrance table? How does it feel to see people lining up at the cashier holding your book, buying your book? Right? Feel that sensation and step into that identity now. This is how you get over the fear of success, by seeing yourself and feeling yourself already successful. How does it feel to touch the cover of your book, to see people reading it, to see people telling you how great it is, right? To see it on a website, on a library website. Feel it. How does it feel to be an amazing content creator and receive emails from brands telling you that they would love to collaborate with you? How does it feel to do a coaching session with a client? Visualize yourself. Use your beautiful imagination in that sense, in that regard, right? So that is how you get over the fear of success, and practice that, of course, every single day or multiple times a week. Now, the number 3 psychological barriers that are preventing us from achieving success when we are out in our own way is perfectionism and overthinking, my dear. Now, I am the leader of the perfectionism and overthinking club. Remember when I talked to you about that podcast? It is also something that was in my way because I wanted to be ready. It's the I'm not ready yet mindset. And that's the mindset shift that must happen in your life. The I'm not ready yet. It's not perfect yet. It's not enough. But you forget that nothing is ever ready yet. What you see is always the final results after years and weeks. If you want to be a life coach, of course you are inspired by a plethora of life coaches. You need to understand that they've been at this game for years. So what you see, the offering that you see, the website, the podcast, the public speaking that they are all doing, it's after years and years of crafting and changing and pivoting, of grinding and hustling, right? Of changing website, changing the offering, and it's never ready. You still need to launch it. Too many people are waiting for the perfect time and you never start. Now think about all the project, all the things that you wanted to do but you never started. All the Instagram posts or the TikToks that you wanted to post about your business, about yourself, about your breakfast, about your favorite hair product, whatever the case might be, that you never did. Because it's not perfect, because you don't have the perfect aesthetic kitchen, because you don't have the perfect aesthetic bowls or, beautiful aesthetic glasses, because you don't have the perfect aesthetically pleasing life, because you don't have the perfect wardrobe. So you're going to go and buy a new jacket. You're going to go and buy a new camera. You're going to go and buy all the things, but it's never perfect enough. You're never really ready enough. And so what needs to happen is a true mindset shift of, I'll start before I am ready. Actually, it's a challenge. I'm challenging you to do that. I will start before I am ready. You set a date and you commit. If you want to launch yourself on social media, you set a date next Tuesday, this weekend, and you commit and you post the thing. You post the thing, or you share your new consultancy or your new coaching program to your friends and family or to random people in the street. If you live in Berlin or if you've ever been to Berlin, I guess it's also true in other European cities. I know when I was in Vienna, it was that as well. There's a lot of stickers everywhere, on every stop sign, every light pole, the red, green and orange traffic lights. That's the name of it. There's a lot of stickers everywhere. Well, go ahead and print 20 stickers and stick them, because I personally read every single stickers. I love it. I discovered so many new music, so many new people. Actually, when I see a QR code, I intend to scan it. So if you are afraid of sharing it with your friends and family, share it with strangers. But you set a date that is not like in 6 months, okay? And you commit to do the thing that you said you would do. You commit to take a concrete step, not like circling around the point, like, oh, I'm gonna buy a new, I don't know, a new jacket so I can take a picture, so I can take professional picture and post them afterwards. A concrete step. If you want to become an author, you set a date and you commit to writing 1 page or 2 pages or 3 pages. Stop looking at YouTube videos or TikToks on tips and tricks for new writers. You write. If you want to be a writer, you write. If you want to be a painter, you paint and you share it with the world. You share it with us. I keep saying, walking in your purpose will never be selfish. So share your art, your purpose, your passion, your love, and your light with us, because we need it. This is how we change the world. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for us, do it for the world, right? So that is how you get over perfectionism and overthinking. You set a date and you commit it. Actually, I talked about Lupita Nyong'o, right, and her beautiful speech. She said in the speech, without the possibility of being bad, you will never be extraordinary. Without the possibility of being bad, you will never be extraordinary. So allow yourself to be bad for a couple of weeks, years, decades, in order for you to become extraordinary. All right? Now, the last psychological barrier is negative self-talk and imposter syndrome. We've all been there, done that. It's this inner critic that is so loud that we believe it. The only reason why we believe it is because it is loud as fuck, right? In your mind, you convinced yourself that you are incapable, that you are not enough, that you are not rich enough, smart enough, pretty enough, strong enough, organized enough, when you actually are, and you convince yourself of the opposite. You convince yourself of all these stupid, untrue things, which is again preventing you from accessing the success that you deserve. Think about even the biggest movie stars, the biggest public speaker, Mel Robbins, Oprah, Beyonce, Michelle Obama. She talked about it, the fact that they all have imposter syndrome, they all have negative self-talk. It is part of it, however you decide what you choose to believe or not. You decide to believe it or not. And a tool in order for you to kind of deal with that negative self-talk is to name your inner critic. Give it a name and talk back. Talk your shit back. But give it a name, maybe a name that you don't like, or the name of someone or something that you don't really appreciate, right? And you talk back. I don't know, Vanessa, Sergey, Angela, I don't know. I don't know these names. It's purely arbitrary. I'm so sorry if this is your name. Love it. But in your particular case, you choose a name and you talk back. And you say, when you hear that negative self-talk, oh my God, I'm not pretty enough. Oh my God, I feel so bad. I feel so fat. I'm so stupid. I'm not enough. I will never be able to achieve this. You said, oh, never mind. That was just my inner critic. That was just Susan speaking. That's not me. Because me, I know that I got me. I know that I'm capable and that I am enough. Okay? So these are the 4 psychological barriers to kind of understand why we are getting in our own way. So you have fear of failure and rejection, fear of success, perfectionism and overthinking, and negative self-talk and imposter syndrome. So ask yourself, which one? Most of us, we have all 4 in our lives at some point, but just understand that this is all psychological. And you don't need to believe any of it. And you have tools that you can do every single day, every single week to overcome it because you can. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But now I wanted to talk about how to actually become your biggest cheerleader. Because it's cute to acknowledge that, yes, I have a fear of failure, or yes, I have a fear of success, or yes, I am a perfectionist and I overthink. But there are ways to actually become your biggest fan and your biggest cheerleader. So I wanted to share with you a few tools that I gathered myself, that I tried myself and implement myself in implemented myself in my life in order to become my biggest cheerleader. And the number one is something that is actually written on my wall. What's the best that could happen? What if it works? That is the mindset shift that needs to happen in your brain. Instead of, what if I fail? What is the worst case scenario? What if this actually changes your life? What if it all works out for the better? It's actually written on my wall. What's the best that could happen? If I keep going with this podcast, right? What's the best that could happen? If I say yes to, I don't know, to a new opportunity, what's the best that could happen? So every single time you start something, posting on social media, launching your business, thinking about publishing a book, opening your own bakery. I'm trying to be as broad as I can when it comes to success because I don't want to paint a very strict picture of success, right? Opening your own bakery, becoming a landlord, I don't know, right? What's the best that could happen? And live into that scenario and that scenario only. Jay Shetty he took a leap of faith and he left his corporate job to become a monk. By the way, side note, goals. Like being a monk, it's still very much in the cards for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can still very much become a monk tomorrow. Do not be surprised if you hear that I just became a monk somewhere on earth. Because yes, very much a dream, still a dream of mine, still in the cards. I talked to you that I did this Vipassana retreat, right? I'm a Vipassana practitioner and I did the 10 days retreat. And let me tell you something. The first thing that I thought was, should I do this should I just let go of society and just become a monk? So actual goals for me, still very much, I'm not too far from it. I love this little podcast situation, but if you see me tomorrow telling you, oh, I'm a monk, don't be surprised. It was in the cards for me. So goals, but then he became a speaker. But that requires a mindset shift to say, what the best that could happen, to believe in yourself and to say, you know what? What if everything works out? What if I become the best speaker, podcast host? And now he's a podcast host, he's an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, motivator, etc., etc. So you need to ask yourself, what's the best that could happen? What if it all works out? What if this changes my life for the better? And live into that energy and that scenario only. All right, so that is the tool number one. Now, the tool number two is to build an inner support system. I'm going to talk later about building a support system, an outer support system, but it's very important if you want to become your cheerleader, the biggest cheerleader, for you to build an inner support system. And you're going to do that in 3/4 steps. I'm going to give you 3 sub tools if you want. First, you are going to write all your fears down on a beautiful piece of paper, not on a computer, not on your phone. You're gonna grab a pen, grab a paper, and write all your fears down. I am afraid that if I post on social media, I will have 0 likes. I am afraid that my aunts and uncle and mother and father and sister will come across my TikTok or my Instagram and judge me. I am afraid that no one will buy my book. I am afraid that no one will hire me of their life to be their life coach. I am afraid to look stupid and to fail. I am afraid to write all your fears down, because you will realize how overwhelming that is. And you are afraid of so many things, girls. You are afraid of way too many things. You, even yourself, you'll be like, God damn, afraid of all of that for such an achievable goal. You will, how can I say that? You know what? You will piss yourself off. When I wrote all my fears down, I was like, God damn, can you stop being afraid? And to launch a podcast, you are afraid of a list of things. Chillax, relax, just launch the podcast. So it's a great tool to write all your fears down on a piece of paper. After that, you will write your dreams down. All your dreams, the wildest dreams, the most beautiful dreams, becoming a mother, having your own bakery, posting on social media, becoming a public speaker, becoming a published author, traveling to South America with a backpack, visiting the beautiful city of Oslo, eating Indian food. Whatever your wildest dream is, I need you to write them down. And then you're going to take a moment in a quiet space. You're going to take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and you are going to close your beautiful eyes and see yourself achieving every single one of these wildest dreams. I need you to see yourself, to picture yourself, and to feel it in your bones. Traveling, being a published author, living your life, being married to the love of your life with kids and dogs, and or having a beautiful penthouse somewhere in a beautiful European city. And I need you to see yourself and to feel it. This is how you become your biggest cheerleader, by building this inner support system that you have your back. And while you're doing that, you're going to use affirmations. I'm not the best with affirmations. I'm trying to be better. As a matter of fact, when I'm going to work out now in the morning, I listen to my affirmations on my way. It's close to my place, but at least for a few minutes, I listen to my affirmations on Spotify. But you need affirmations so you can rewire your brain. For example, I back myself no matter what. I have my back. To rewire your mind as being your biggest fan, right? The world needs my voice. I keep telling you this. Walking in your purpose is good for the collective. It will never be selfish. We need you to walk in your purpose, right? So the world needs my voice. I have something to say. I am safe to take up space. I am enough. I am capable. All of these affirmations that you can repeat to yourself to build that subconscious belief that you are your biggest fan, and become your own motivation, your own public speaker girl, your own motivational speaker, because you need it. I will take second place, but you need to be the first one. I keep telling you that. All right. Now the fourth sub tool, to build your inner support system. I do it in a different way, but what you can do is to have a daily wins journal. You can just take a little notebook. You don't need to have a big ass journal, but every single day you write 3 things that you did well that day. And it can just be, I woke up and I got out of bed. I made it to work. I had positive thoughts most of the day. I worked out. I did my 10K steps. I cooked for myself today, right? Or I got a job. Or you write down 3 wins, and even small wins. Like I said, you got out of bed. Congrats. You did it. I drank 1 liter, 2 liters of water today. At the end of the day, I need you to write 3 wins. Now, the way I do it, I have a happiness jar. I mentioned it on TikTok and Instagram. Me, every single day at night, I write something that I'm grateful for that day. I'm grateful for my friends because we had lunch and I love them so much and I had a great day. I'm grateful for the food that I cooked for myself today. So I do it in a more like gratitude oriented energy. But you can write 3 things that you did well today so you can support yourself, so you can celebrate yourself. I will celebrate you, obviously. Till the day I die and beyond, I will be your second biggest. I will celebrate you, but you need to celebrate yourself first, because I can tell you if every single day how beautiful, perfect, amazing, capable you are, which you are, but if you don't believe it yourself, you won't believe me. So what's the point? Right? So this is the second tool, build your inner support system. The third tool is something that I stole. Well, I didn't steal anything, but I'm sharing it from Mel Robbins. What a diamond. What a diamond of a woman. And it's the 5-second rule. It is acting despite fear and acting before self-doubt overwhelm you. Now, you want me to be fully transparent? I hate it. I've been implementing this for the last few weeks, and I am not implementing it for fear, as I have a different relationship to fear, but I am implementing it in the morning so I can get out of bed, because I love to snooze. I love seeing my phone ring my alarm ring, and then saying, All four, stop and then staying in bed. Love it. I've been doing that for years, but I know that it's not good. And it does not feel good. It does not feel good to rot in bed because I end up thinking about the day before, the day ahead, what am I supposed to do? I actually start my day with overthinking instead of just getting up, right? So what I do in the morning when my alarm ring, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I get up. It's one of the hardest things for me. It is. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard. But this is how I'm trying to implement this new habit of not rotting in bed in my thoughts and, overthinking and being anxious before even getting out of bed. But you can do it for fear as well, for fear and anxiety. For example, if you want to post on social media, you put you upload your little video, you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you hit post. If you want to ask something to someone in the street, if you want to shoot your shot, if you want to ask for direction, ask for whatever the case may be, if you want to stand up at work and stand up for yourself or, stand up to someone, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you do it. You do not let enough time pass that self-doubt overwhelm you because there is a gap, right? You will feel the fear and then there will be a gap before self-doubt. First, there's fear and then there is self-doubt. Before self-doubt overwhelms you, you count those 5 seconds and you go. And you go for it. Before your brain, do not give your brain enough time to sabotage you. So that is the tool number 3. Act despite of fear. Do not let your brain make excuses, basically. Now, the 4th tool is my favorite one because it is something that I've been applying, and it is your best friend filter. Now imagine, right? If your best friend or someone that you cared for, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your daughter, your brother, your neighbor, someone that you care about, if they came to you with all the fears, remember that you wrote down, and all the dreams that you wrote down, if they came to you with all that self-doubt and anxiety and fear and yada, 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 as a matter of fact, I truly believe that even if a stranger came to you with all of that, what would you say? I am 100,000% sure that in that moment, when your best friend, your sister, your brother, whoever, if they came to you with all of that, you will transform immediately in the most positive, most eloquent, and effective personal motivational speaker that this world has ever seen. You will uplift them. You will inspire them. You will do your best to destroy all of those negative beliefs and reinforce and build those positive beliefs, right? Even if a stranger does it in the street, even if someone randomly comes to you and be like, oh my God, I'm terrified. I want to be an author, but I'm so scared and I'm so bad and I'm so stupid and I'm not capable. You will automatically switch to your most positive, powerful self and reinforce them and help them and empower them. Well, my dear, my darling, my ray of sunshine, do that to yourself. Say that to yourself. That is the best friend filter. All the things that you would say to a stranger or to someone that you care about when they come to you with their dreams, hopes, fears, and anxiety. Because I know you will be positive. I know you will want the best for them. Do that for you. I said that on my TikTok. You need to become the love of your life. You need to become your best friend. Talk to yourself as if you talk to someone that you care about, someone that you want the best in the world for them. So that is the best friend filter. Say it to yourself. Now, the last tool, I talked about building an inner support system. Now you need to build a outer support system. Surround yourself with what I called expanders, people who uplift you, people who inspire you. You need to really craft your environment. And if it goes down to 2-3 people, then that's enough. But only surround yourself, only follow, listen, and connect and spend time with people who are uplifting your spirit, who are making you feel that you can achieve anything and everything. Spend time with people who have the life, the spirit, the mindset that you want in your life. It is crucial in order for you to become your biggest cheerleader, right? It's like you will put out the energy that you want for yourself because everyone around you is uplifting. Do not be afraid of spending less time with people who don't really make you feel good about yourself, and follow the people who don't make you feel good about yourself, right? Spend less time with them. Wish them the best. It's okay. But only craft your environment with the right people, with expenders, what I call expenders. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. How to get out of your own way, why you are in your own way. And I really wanted to give you tools, actionable tools that you can do in order for you to reach the success that you deserve and that you want, because you owe it to yourself. Lupita Nyong'o also said that in one of her speech, in the speech that I linked in the bio, right? You owe it to yourself to try your dreams and realize them. You owe that to yourself, because your dreams were not implemented in your beautiful mind for shits and giggles, because you have to realize them. Okay, so I'm challenging you to ask yourself, what is one thing that you've been holding yourself back from? Just think about it. What is the one, at least one? I'm pretty sure that we all have a list, but what is one thing that you've been holding yourself back from? And decide today to take one step towards it. One concrete, real, strong, bold, unapologetic step towards that thing that you've been holding yourself from. Because on the other side of fear is success and joy and happiness and love, right? Post the content. Apply for the job, start the project, launch the business, and say yes to yourself. Say yes to yourself. Promise? It's a journey. I'm still on the journey of getting out of my own way. I'm forcing myself every single time I want to do something. I go for it full force. I don't think about it too much. I just do it. If I want to post something, I post it. If I want to try something, I try it. If I want to say something, I try it. It's a journey. It takes months, years. It's a lifelong journey, but it is worth it. My God, is it worth it? Okay? And just remember that no one has it all figured out. No one. The only difference between those who do and those who don't is the fact that those who do, they just start. They just started and they never stopped. That is my message of the day, my beautiful dear. Take care of yourself. I love you dearly. This episode was a little longer, but I wanted to pack it with insights and tools. I want my episodes to be even more informative and more actionable. Write me at sitwithmepodcast@gmail.com or on TikTok and Instagram, Solène all caps. Share your stories with me. Maybe a moment that you had a fear of failure, a fear of success, or something that you did to overcome it. I will be delighted to read you and to hear from you. Take care of yourself. I love you dearly. Love yourself more though. Okay, become your biggest cheerleader. You deserve the life of your dream. You can have the life of your dream. I need you to truly believe that. Okay, take at least one of the tools that I gave you and apply it today or this week. If you desire to be successful, happy, but I believe that you do. Take care of yourself. I love you dearly, and I see you next week. Bisous, bye.